Welcome to Build with Grace, the podcast for faith driven entrepreneurs who want to build a business, pursue their passion, and stay aligned with what matters most. I'm Alani Jen Kiminalis, founder of Scale Up VA, and here we talk about faith, family, business, purpose, and building without burnout. If you are ready to grow without losing yourself, you are in the right place. This podcast was born out of deep conviction, a conviction that you do not have to lose yourself to build something meaningful, a conviction that you do not have to abandon your faith, your family, or your peace just to say you are successful, a conviction that there is a better way to build, not a lazy way, not a passive way, but a way that is aligned, a way that is intentional, a way that is deeply surrendered to God. That is what Built with Grace is all about. I started this podcast because I have seen how easy it is to get pulled into hustle culture, the kind of culture that tells you that if you want to make it, you have to sacrifice something sacred: your sleep, your time with your family, your peace, your health, sometimes even your walk with God. And if I'm being honest, I've had seasons where I felt that pressure too. Seasons where I was pushing hard, seasons where I was exhausted, seasons where I was trying to show up for my clients, my business, my family, and everything else all at once. And somewhere in all of that, I started realizing something. A lot of people are building businesses, but not everyone is building a life they actually want to live. A lot of people look successful on the outside, but behind the scenes, they are tired. They are stretched. They are disconnected. They are trying to keep up with the pace that is quietly costing them too much. And I knew I wanted to create a space where we could talk honestly about that, not just about strategy, not just about money, not just about productivity, but about faith, about alignment, about peace, about family, about purpose, about building a way that honors God and protects what matters most. For those of you who do not know me yet, I'm the founder of Scale Up VAs. I help overwhelmed business owners get the support they need so they can grow without burning out. That mission is very personal to me because I know what it feels like to carry too much. I know what it feels like to want to pursue your calling while also trying to be present at home. I know what it feels like to believe God put something in your heart, but also wrestle with the fear of what it might cost. I'm not coming to you as someone who has everything figured out. I'm coming to you as someone who is still walking this out with God, as someone who is learning, growing, repenting, trusting, and choosing over and over again to build differently. And that is what this podcast will be: real conversations, honest lessons, practical wisdom, and a whole lot of grace. This podcast is for the woman who wants to build something meaningful, but does not want to lose herself in the process. It is for the entrepreneur who loves God and wants Him at the center of her business. It is for the virtual assistant who is trying to grow, serve well, and create stability, but also wants to protect her peace. It is for the wife, the mom, the leader, the dreamer, the builder. It is for the person who knows he is called to more, but also knows that more should not come at the expense of what matters most. If you have ever felt torn between your ambition and your values, I want you to know this. You do not have to choose between impact and alignment. You do not have to choose between growth and peace. You do not have to choose between purpose and presence. You can build with grace. On this podcast, We are going to talk about what it really looks like to build a business and pursue your passion with God at the center. We are going to talk about faith and business. We are going to talk about marriage and family. We are going to talk about burnout, boundaries, systems, delegation, obedience, and the real cost of trying to do everything alone. I'll share personal stories. I'll share lessons I've learned in business. I'll share things God has been teaching me in private that I believe will help you in public. This is not going to be about pretending life is perfect. This is going to be about building honestly, building wisely, and building in a way that reflects the God we serve. At the heart of this podcast is one simple belief: success should never require you to abandon your values. I believe your business should support your life and not steal it. I believe your growth should not come at the cost of your family. I believe peace is not weakness. I believe rest is not laziness. I believe obedience matters more than appearance. And I believe that when God is truly at the center, He will teach you how to build in a way that is sustainable, meaningful, and deeply aligned. That does not mean it will always be easy. It does not mean there will not be sacrifice. It does not mean every season will feel light. But it does mean you do not have to build like the world builds. You are allowed build differently. Actually, I believe you are called to. One verse that actually anchors this whole message is Matthew 6:33. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. That verse is not just about priorities. It is about order. It is about what comes first. And when God comes first, and everything else finds its proper place. That is what I want for this podcast. Not just helpful conversations, but rightly ordered conversations. Conversations that point us back to what matters. Conversations that help us seek first the kingdom, even while we build, grow, serve, and lead. So if you are in a season right now where you feel stretched, uncertain, or tired, I want to encourage you. You are not behind. You are not failing just because you are questioning the pace. You are not weak because you want peace. You are not less ambitious because you care deeply about your family, your faith, and your values. That actually might be the clearest sign that your heart is still aligned. And if that is where you are, I hope this podcast becomes a place that reminds you that you are not alone, a place that grounds you, a place that strengthens you, a place that helps you keep building without losing what matters most. Thank you so much for being here for the very first episode of Built with Grace. It really means a lot to me that you are here. And if this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who is building something meaningful but needs the reminder that success does not have to cost everything. And in the next episode, I'm going to share more of my personal story, the early struggles, the unexpected lessons, the hard seasons, and how God used even the parts of my journey I did not like to prepare me for what I do now. Until then, remember this: you can pursue your calling without sacrificing your faith, your family, or your peace. This is Built with Grace.